All right, folks, how we doing? It's been a minute, but we're back here on the clock. Myself, Austin Brown, and our fearless co-host Jason Miro. We're gonna do a little bit of recap for both Sunday Funday and Farmer Brown and Friends. Lots of trades, a lot of changing in the standings. We're gonna just go through a little bit about how it's been for what a 4 or 5 week period since we've done this last.
Yeah, I think 5 weeks period. So a lot of changes, honestly. So it's
All
gonna,
right,
it's gonna
man,
be
slide
interesting.
us right in there.
All right. We're gonna start off. Let me share my screen. All right. First thing we're gonna go off with is Sunday Funday. So let's start off with some trades. I think we're gonna be reviewing about five of them, I believe so. So let's just scroll up here. First one we're gonna be talking about though is pretty simple. It was Nico Collins for a 2025 first. And that was Alexis's first. So right now Alexis sits at sixth place. He is probably going to be winning this week, so that would put him at 5-5, and potentially moving up in the standings for Nico Collins. Thoughts? What are your thoughts on this trade?
I mean, Nico is arguably, I mean, before the injury, what, top three, top five wide receiver?
Oh yeah, I think he was actually number three.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, this is, taking advantage of an injured player or, taking advantage of the market of an injured player. And I think that it was a great market trade for, a middle of the pack team that just kind of knows, hey, if I bide my time, my team can get better. But if it doesn't work out, then I know it's going to work out for me next year. So you had a team that was saying, hey, I got to, drop injured weight from my team. You had another team that said, hey, I'm in the middle of the pack. This could either help me towards the end of the year, secure a playoff spot and push me through the playoffs, or at worst, this is a guy for the next 5, 6 years that's going to be solid for my team. Um, I think the Rizzler wins this trade, just because of the talent of Nico Collins and just what he's going to be with Stroud for the next nth years. The youth and the quarterback setup is pretty legit. I definitely would have been seeking more than a single first, but definite. So in my mind, definitely a win for the Rizzler, but not an absolute landslide of
I
a
mean,
trade. I'd
Nico
say I'd say
Collins,
75%. I'd say 75 cents to the dollar, which is a pretty bad sell, but
for sure. I
at
mean,
least it's a first round pick and at least it's coming up sooner rather than later.
I agree. And I think you add Nico Collins to this lineup right here. Like, obviously, Jalen Waddle has not been performing, and you have to hope that he's gonna come back. You really, really, really
Yeah.
need to do. Like,
I think
tonight.
I think
Playing
Hill is
tonight.
really close. I think Tyreek Hill is really close. I think this year or next year is his last year, and I think Waddle's best years are ahead of him.
Oh, for
But
sure.
if you're saying, hey, this team 3 years from now, okay, if he replaces those running backs and he finds a middle of the pack tight end, his quarterback situation should be fine. And then you're talking Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton. That's a four group 2 to 3 years from now that should be undeniably, all top 20 wide receivers.
Absolutely. And like Cortland Sutton has definitely been someone who's been surprising me this season. Like I mean,
Well, give the
Cortland
guy a
Sutton,
quarterback and he's
yeah,
pretty good.
Cortland Sutton does this all the time though, and even just kind of like looking at his past couple of weeks, it's pretty fantastic. Number wide receiver
Yeah.
number 16 for the season, and this was a good hold. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but Cortland Sutton was actually traded to this team from with a Tyreek Hill trade. So
Oh,
if you
wow.
even scroll down here, like you'll see Tyreek Hill versus Cortland Sutton. So we're talking about this in 2023. Like we obviously want the Tyreek Hill side. You wanted the Tyreek Hill side before this even started. But
Yeah.
maybe I even think probably still today you probably want the Tyreek Hill side. But look at what's kind of happening here. Cortland Sutton is out producing Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So it's this is why Dynasty is so beautiful. Just because like you literally never know what's
Calculated
gonna
moves. Yeah.
happen. You never know
Yeah.
what's gonna
Calculated
happen.
moves.
Alexis definitely was not feeling the best about this trade, but it's paying off right now. But seriously, you enter Nico Collins where Xavier Hutchinson is off like
Yeah.
on the Texans, boom. You go on Jalen Wall to kind of show up. The biggest thing was that he did just lose Dak. So We'll see if Bryce Young can kind of, scrape by. I don't think he's going to
Just
be
enough
51.
material. I don't think
Exactly.
it's gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out for him this year, just because of the
It
inconsistency
doesn't
of the
have to work
roster.
out. He needs to score. Literally right now, what he's doing, 14 points for his team. Like that is what Alexis just wants to make sure he's not scoring a donut every single seat
Yeah.
every week.
Yep.
He's not going to be someone that's winning you a week. He's going to be someone that you're hoping he gets to 15. You're
Yeah.
just hoping.
Yep. Absolutely.
But I mean, it's the Nico side for me. Not even a doubt about it, honestly.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
It's 100% the Nico side, but like I said, on the other side of it, at least it's decent capital in this year's draft. It's not like you got completely swindled and got a 26 first. Like I would rather 25 first than a 26 first and second in this situation. I would have rather the sooner material than the later material. But yeah, definitely like 75 cents on the dollar. Like we just got Nico for a 25% discount, no doubt about it.
mhm. All right, let's move on to trade two here. We have James Conner and Trey Benson getting traded for Yossi Voss. Wow, I almost messed that up. I was like, wait, what is this name? It's Yossi Voss. 2025 second and a
It's Yoshi.
2025 fourth. Yeah, basically 2025 fourth. So James Conner, Alexis, a second back-to-back trade here. And Alexis has one more trade we're about to get to. So he's making moves, always making moves. He said, I'm actually a winning team. Let's go get a championship. And adding James Conner and getting the Trey Benson stack is just a beautiful move. Trey Benson is going to probably be the one that takes over this backfield when James Conner is done. Not sure if you know anything much about his contract, but I think he does have about next year is his last year, and then it's over. Well, not that it's over. They could re-sign him, but he is he is James Conner. He hasn't really
Yeah.
he's been producing this season though, so he's someone that I'm a big fan of, honestly. Someone that I haven't really been highly about, but he just shows that he can produce and produce and produce.
He's a
Um,
strong dude. Like he's like your old school running back. Like he's strong, he's big, he doesn't go down easy. Um, Benson's a little bit of the opposite. He's more of a speedster skill player. I think they're going to complement each other next year. I think this year it is Connor's backfield and it's not going to change. You will see Benson sprinkled in from time to time just on specific plays. But I think next year it's going to be more of a true timeshare 60-40, 50-50. I think James Connor's going to have one more relevant year next year. And it's just because he's going to be the touchdown guy and Benson's going to be, worked into the passing game a lot more next year than this year. But I think, you know, this is the last year on his contract.
I'm actually looking it up right now to see if
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I think that they're going to probably 1 year at a time.
I
James
was gonna
Conner.
say you got to think that they probably would do that. Oh, so this is actually his last year.
Yeah, so what I think is they're either going to extend him in the offseason for a 1 or 2 year contract, and they're just going to keep him around until Benson is where they want him to be, like fully. And he'll end up being the 1B, I think, as early as next year, but it will be a more of a split backfield.
Uh, Benson has actually been getting a lot more
Yeah,
touches
no,
in
he's
the
he's
last
extremely
in the last
efficient.
few
Benson
weeks.
is extremely efficient,
Yes.
but I just don't
What
know if he's
10
uh,
carries, 10 carries against Jets,
yeah,
but they kind of are blowing out the Jets, so
yeah,
they're gonna take that for what it's worth.
yeah.
The Jets are
I
awful and they're terrible, and that's all I really have to say about that.
I think the coaching staff and the building really like who James Conner is. I think that
Oh,
they count him as a leader in the
exactly.
locker room, and I think that this is one of the situations where Benson found his home, and I truly believe that they're going to pay him just enough money to keep him here to play out his career and finish strong. So I think, he's 29, Connor, I think. So
Yep.
I think he plays until he's 31. I think they give him a 2 year extension. He kind of, you know, right now, let's call it 80-20 James Conner. Next year, it'll be more like 60-40. The final year, it'll be probably 60-40 or 70-30 in Benson's favor. But that'll like let him go into the sunset well. It'll be like no hard feelings. I'm sure James Conner understands why they picked Trey Benson. I think it's just a nice situation. It reminds me of Alvin Kamara a little bit, where like the organization just loves him. The organization just wants Alvin Kamara to be around until he can no longer play. And I think that's what's happening with James Conner in Arizona, which is good for James Conner owners. But he's just, I think as we move forward, I think the next 2 years, his workload's just going to diminish. He's going to go from a fringe RB1 to definitely a fringe RB2 to probably a fringe RB2, RB3 as he finishes out his career in the next 2 years.
Yeah, it's been right now he is running back 8. Before that, 18, 19, 5. So he's been just staying really consistent when Arizona top 20. Having
Yeah,
a
fringe one,
having,
top two
having a
style
really
running
good
back.
season right now, honestly though. So
Yeah, absolutely.
he's looking good. So um uh, I once again, I mean I like Alexis' side. James Conner, Trey Benson. The stack really does it for
Yeah,
me,
I
honestly.
think this one
Getting
is more of an absolute, you
getting
know,
a getting a 2025 second is just not, I don't know. I think I would want more for James Conner, to be honest. And Yosivas, I don't know. It doesn't really do too much for me.
I don't see because you know what's ironic is this trade happened immediately after a trade that happened. I think in my league, it might have been your brother's league, but Yoshivash was
you're
was
saying
in,
that.
included as well. And I was like, am I missing something? Like, is Yoshivash like doing something crazy, or did someone get injured or something? But no, I'm not trying to point fingers or like make fun here, but like this was a blowout. Compared to the previous trade, this is a blowout. So if the previous trade was, 75 cents on the dollar, good trade in, Lexus's favor, then this trade is like 50 cents on the dollar. Like we're talking like half off purchase. I mean, if I'm selling James Conner and Trey Benson, I'm looking for at the bare minimum three twos.
I would say
Like
so.
I'm trying to get a first and a second, or like a first and a third. But like if you gave me two 25 twos and a 26 two, I think that also gets me there.
Yeah, I would agree with that, honestly. I feel like I don't know. I guess if you're really in the Yosivas, I guess that does it for you.
Yeah,
But
we
I
could
know
be eating our words, and Yoshivash could be the number two when Higgins leaves, and this guy who's the goober that they drafted from Alabama,
Jermaine Burton.
Burton. Yeah, if Burton is doing the same off the field nonsense that he's currently doing, then yeah, maybe Yoshivash gets in there and he becomes the number two. But I
Yosivas,
don't see it.
25 years old, number 69 right now.
Yeah, he's not even a
Um,
rookie. Like that's what I was confused about. It's like it's not like he was like a free agent rookie. Like he's been in the league.
yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Very, very weird. But I mean, I don't know. It's interesting.
Anything's possible. It's not a good calculation in
Anything
my
is
opinion.
possible for sure. Anything's possible for sure. But yeah, another Alexis win in my book. So, all right, let's go. Let's go to another one here. All right, now you're involved. We have Ramondre Stevenson for a second and a third here. So, talk to us about it. How do you feel?
Well, I was in talks to try to grab James Conner and Trey Benson. I later, as we'll see, was in talks to get CMC, which came to fruition. But up until that moment, I really
You needed
felt
RB2.
yeah, I felt required to bolster my RB room and already have trading one of my 25 firsts. I felt like, all right, as long as I'm getting a running back in my next trade that I try to do, then it makes up for the fact that I lost the opportunity at two running backs in 2025. So, Stevenson's just a steady guy for me. Like, not quite James Conner, but definitely not like an RB3. I think he's a straight RB2. There's weeks where he scores as if he's an RB1,
What
but
do
the
you even do?
Patriots
What
as
do you
a
do
as
this
a
week?
team right now are just inconsistent.
What do you do? You got 24 for 74. Okay.
Yeah. So like he has his moments where he's putting 20 on the board, then he has his moments where he's putting 6 or 4 on the board. And that is gonna, ebb and flow based off of how the Patriots are doing.
Yeah.
So, as the quarterback situation, comes together and what is he on? A 4 year deal? I think he's on a 4 year contract. So he's gonna be there until he's 28, 29 years old. So, I think his best years are ahead of him because the more consistent the offense gets, the better he's gonna get. So right now I'm just treating him as a solid RB2. I feel good about it, and especially now that I have my other RB, which
Yeah,
is a trade
he
we'll
is
talk
definitely
about.
a solid RB2. You can see here he's getting a lot of volume, and
Yeah,
but that's all he's getting is a lot of volume. He's definitely very a touchdown dependent type of dude right
yeah,
now. But
yep,
I mean, I live in New England right now, so a lot of my friends up here are Pats fans. But they're always talking about how their offensive line is literally trash. So it's
yeah.
like,
They
there's
need,
only
they
so
definitely
much.
need to invest in the line. There's a lot of teams in the league that need to invest in the
Yeah,
offensive line.
There is.
including my Giants.
So, but I do like to buy because you're putting out Antonio Gibson out there, and that's just
Yeah,
not
like
doing
it
that's not
was
doing
it
any
was
good.
Brees Hall and literally nobody.
Yes, and Brees
Yeah,
Hall is. I mean, actually, I think he's like running back number like I don't know, like 11 or 8 or something like that.
yeah,
But also, I mean, Brees Hall is supposed to be your RB hero, but he's not really doing the hero material. So he
yeah,
definitely needs to bolster that a little bit. But
yeah,
I do like the move. I mean, I think it's a good price, 25 second,
yeah.
6 third, call it a
I
day.
wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna pay a first for Stevenson. I mean,
Yeah,
someone probably could sell for Stevenson for a
for
first,
sure.
but
If
I
you're
said
desperate,
I'll do a first and a second as long as we spread it out, and I felt like it was relatively fair. Maybe I'm buying him 95 cents on the dollar, but it's pretty close to an even trade in my
yeah. I
opinion.
mean, it just seems right now Santana is just wants draft picks. So I mean, if that's his plan, I mean, he's doing it. So
It's a good class. It's a good class to want draft picks for. So just bolstering 25 stuff, I agree with what he's doing.
yeah, but I think honestly, I think this works for both teams. I don't know if there's a winner or a loser. Like you definitely need a running back. He wants draft picks.
Hmm.
We'll call it a day. Honestly,
Yeah.
I like it. All right, I think we got maybe one or two more. All right, CMC trade here. So wild.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember I think I texted you. I was like, you're sold Bo Nix like he is Lamar Jackson right now. And I feel like that's probably where the value kind of comes here. I don't know. I saw the trade. I was like, I don't really get what's going on. I definitely still have a lot of confidence in Christian McCaffrey, even beyond this year. This is dynasty. He's gonna be on this team for what, 2, 3 more years? Like I feel
Well,
like
his
I feel
contract
very
says
confident
three
about
more
that.
years.
I
Well, his
feel
contract, I'm sorry, if you include this year, it's three, but his contract is 2 more years after this year, I think. For me, this is how I saw it. I'm looking at a team that you could use youth injected. And then for me, it's like, again, I'm just trying to bolster my running back room since I really only have one draft pick in 2025. So now that I have my running back room pretty much secure, I don't have to feel pressured to draft a 2025 running back. I would love any of the stud running backs that's in that class, but like I now can just take best available player with wherever my draft pick shows up.
yeah.
So really what anchored this trade for me was Trey McBride. So like basically the way that I was saying it was Bo Nix is a top 10 quarterback. You can't deny it. He's been playing like it, and he's got Sean Payton as a coach. He's a rookie. So that automatically boosts his value because if he's going to play like this for the next 4 years, if he stays exactly the way he's playing now,
He's
then he
he's good.
is
He's good.
that
He's,
value.
he's only been improving every single
Yeah,
week.
but
So
that's my point though. Like
I
you
agree.
are saying like you're trading him like he's Lamar Jackson value. In my
I
mind, he's definitely not Lamar Jackson value, but he's definitely like, in my opinion, like I wouldn't put him equal with Joe Burrow, but like if he's doing this exact same thing for the next 4 years, then people are going to value him like Joe Burrow. If he's doing this exact same thing for the next 4 years, people are going to value him like Kyler Murray. If he's doing this exact same thing for the next 4 years, people are going to value him like the names that are in quarterback 5 to 15 range. And 15 is not where he's at right now. He's closer to 5. He's at 9 or 8. So that was me. I didn't want to give up Rome Odunze. I tried to do this trade without Rome Odunze, and it just wasn't going to work. So I had to give up, one of the stud running or wide receivers from this class that I really have faith is going to be a dude. Obviously, he would have been a pair with my quarterback because I also have Williams. Um, so, you know, I bite my tongue as I make the trade, but it secures the
I
tight end
I
position for
like
me.
yeah, I like the
Yeah, it
whole
secures the
the
tight end position for me, and
Trey
it secures the
McBride
running
being
back
in this.
position for me. It
Correct.
was it was me not wanting to give up the people that I just drafted, but it was like a must situation for me
I
in
love
order
it.
to make my team
I'm a big
more
fan
well-rounded.
of you getting Trey Mc like if there was no Trey McBride in this trade, I would still be like, okay, like I get
Yeah.
what's going on here. But
Well, from his
you
side,
getting Trey McBride just wins it for
yeah.
me. Trey
Well,
McBride
from
is
his
fantastic.
side, yeah, from his side, it was like I don't want to get rid of McBride, and from my side, it's like I don't want to get rid of Rome Odunze. So I think when I added Rome Odunze, he was then more willing for Trey McBride because he also has two other really good tight ends.
Hawkinson and actually,
Ingram.
well, he just got rid of Ingram. So this is before he got
Oh,
rid of Ingram. This is
yes.
before he got rid of Ingram.
But Hawkinson is still, when he's not tearing his ACL or whatever it was that he
Hawkinson
tore.
did good. He had a great
Yeah.
game. I think he had so
But
many
we knew that,
receptions.
right?
Like, yeah,
Before the injury, we were like, wow, Hawk is like the breakout tight end of 2022, or what was it? 20, yeah, 22.
yeah.
And 23, he missed.
He's been
He
doing it
misses.
for he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he was like a good tight end for a while, like fringe, top six, top seven. But then he was like playing as the tight end one before he got injured.
Yeah, but
So
but I love
listen,
I love
yeah,
it
I think we've made both of our teams more well-rounded. I mean, I agree that I think I got the better players out of the trade, but 2 years from now, I might only have Trey McBride in this trade, and he is going to have all three of those guys.
for sure. I mean, you're definitely and his Kyle's team is definitely a really big. Kyle and Joe's team are a very big. They're quarterback needy. They have
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones. So
yeah,
I don't know if you're really. I remember we were like our first time we were really talking about Trevor Lawrence is like he's just okay, and like now he might even be out for the season. We don't really know what's going on with his. Luckily, it's his non-throwing shoulder,
I
so
mean,
that
if it's a
thing's better.
grade
So,
three AC sprain, he's out.
but
It all
non-throwing.
depends on how they diagnose it.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, he didn't play this week, so we'll see. But I was surprised you gave up Rome Odunze. I know that's someone that you didn't really like want to give up. The you giving up Wicks is perfectly fine with me. You do have a lot of wide receivers on your
I, s-
bench.
I still
Um,
have a lot of wide
I was
receivers.
about to say, like, if this
Come
was
find me.
if this was another one of your wide receivers that had a little bit more value, I think I would be more excited for Kyle and Joe's team here. But I like the move for your team. It
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense and it definitely is going to help you get some more wins this
yeah,
season for sure.
yeah.
Um yeah, nothing else to say. I love it. Okay. I think we got one more. I think this is it. All right. This one is pretty gross, to be honest. We got Evan Ingram and Trevor Lawrence for Dak Prescott, Jake Ferguson in the third. Um, this happened last week, last Thursday, Friday, something like that. But
Yeah,
Dak and Trevor Lawrence both hurt. Dak wasn't on IR yet, but he got announced he's gonna put on IR like maybe like the day after. But I think we all knew that was gonna happen regardless. This just looks
yeah.
like you're swapping quarterbacks. Um, Alexis
I mean,
definitely.
who do you if they let's say they both end up on IR. I mean, the Dak wins versus Trevor, right?
But does he? Because Trevor
Doesn't he
Lawrence
have 2 or 3 more years on his contract? And he's
he just signed it.
definitely,
He just signed a contract. But
yeah, an extension. Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like the Jaguars would be more committed to Trevor Lawrence versus the Cowboys being committed to Dak Prescott.
So I don't I
If
don't
things went
disagree
crazy.
with that, but based off of what Dak has done, if he ends up at another pass happy offense, then he's gonna be fine.
For sure.
Trevor's the question mark. Trevor's like, can he get past 300 points as a quarterback? Like Dak's done that multiple times. In fact, I think Dak's gone past 400 at least twice. And that's like league winning upside for a guy
Yeah.
who's still going to be in the league for at least 3 more years.
Yeah. I mean, Dak has definitely not had the best season. I have him in one league and it's just honestly been atrocious. It's
Well,
been
something's going on there. I mean, the way that him
and
and CD Lamb are interacting, the way that him and McCarthy are interacting, like I don't know, maybe Dak is like a
I
problem,
think
but
I think
maybe other
no.
people are a problem.
I think it's
CD
just the
Lamb is scaring
Cowboys.
the crap out of me. I
I
have
think
CD Lamb in 2 leagues, and I just traded for him last year, and he is scaring the absolute crap out of me. Like he went from like what looked like a humble receiver to like he looks like Antonio Brown the way he interacts with his teammates.
I think it's the Cowboys. There's something
Just
going
their
on. I think
franchise.
no, I think right. Well, not even like their franchise. Like this year, there's something boiling in there. There
So, yeah,
really
no,
is.
like it's like somebody cheated on somebody's wife or something. Like there's like
Oh my
mad
God.
beef.
But there is a lot of tension that is going on, even with like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is inserting himself into
He's the
everything that's
worst.
going on. He
He's the
is
worst.
like you need to get out. He's poisoning the locker room just with like
He's the
how he's talking.
worst.
He literally said. Not sure if you saw his interview
Oh
yesterday.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. First of all, he's literally the only owner ever doing interviews. Like, don't you think that's like an issue? Like, shut up,
Well,
go
he's
away,
his
go
whole thing
away.
is the marketing. He,
Yeah,
he I mean,
Like,
he clearly wants to win, but he's very content with just being a middle of the road team because he's still going to make more money than any other franchise in the league.
yeah, he in the interview he was trashing Dak. He was like, I thought our offense looked better today without Dak. Like, why are you saying that?
Well,
You
did you see what he
literally,
said about CD?
I don't know if I did.
So
What did you
CD
say?
Lamb was complaining about the stadium and how like on one of the
Oh,
targets he
yes,
looked back
the lights.
and he was like nonchalantly he's like, "You want me to change the stadium?" Like he doesn't have to say that publicly. He just doesn't. Hey,
That's
Jerry, what do you think about the light? You're gonna change the stadium to help your players out? He could have just been like, "We don't talk about that, thanks." But
yeah.
instead, he actually like points the finger at CD Lamb.
He's weird, man.
He's just not. He doesn't get it. He
He's
doesn't
starting a
get it.
lot of problems. But I'm going back. I mean,
Multi-billionaire problems.
yeah, for sure. Going back to this trade though, like I get what you're saying, and like I feel like I agree with you, but like I don't know. This is weird. It was a weird trade.
Well,
Everything going on is weird.
the way I see it is,
I don't know if there's a clear.
Joe. Like who's on that team? It's a co-ownership for
Yeah,
Joe Rowe, right?
Joe and Kyle, Joe and
Joe and
Kyle.
Kyle. The way I see it is Joe and Kyle got a little bit older. Well, I guess a good chunk older at quarterback, but not for the immediate future. Like again, Dak has 3 more years. So for the next 3 years, I want Dak over Trevor Lawrence. I believe that. And if they both end up on IR, then they win that portion of it. Then you have Jake Ferguson, who is very talented on a pass happy team, especially if Dak stays there versus Evan Engram, who is also on a pass heavy team, seems to be the number one target when he's healthy, but he's nearing the end. Like he physically and age wise, like tight ends don't last this long.
You think Evan Ingram's earring? No, he's not.
He's 29 years old.
There's no way he's 29 years old.
Go ahead, look it up.
Oh, I'm looking it up.
That's why I didn't want him. I like he was trying to get forced into the Mcbride trade.
Wow, he's 30
He's
years
30.
old. When did this happen?
He must have just turned 30 because it was 29 a couple weeks back
He's
when
really
I
on
was
the
trying to
Giants
trade.
for that long, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah. Now,
I'm baffled.
ready?
I can't even believe it.
He's been in the league that long. So you just traded a 30-year-old tight end who's probably doing the same, if not a tiny bit more than a 24-year-old tight end. And Jake Ferguson is good tight end. He's very good. So when you take those two things into account and then you add, what is it, a 25 third,
Yes, 25 third.
then I have to take their side. I have to take their side.
How did Jake Ferguson do without Dak?
Not excellent. But,
4 for 24. Yeah, I mean, I guess
I'm
that's
just saying, you look at his season long numbers and normally he's a top 10, top 6 tight end. And if you're going to do a quarterback swap, you didn't downgrade a tight end that much. Plus, he still has Hawkinson. If I'm him, actually, I would have tried to get a position. I would have tried to get a running back or a wide receiver, not do a tight end swap
yeah.
or more draft capital. But
I think
when you take it as it is and you don't take the team dynamics into the picture, I think that Joe and
in a vacuum, so in the vacuum,
yeah,
you like Dak and you like the back.
yes, yeah,
I would say situational awareness here is Alexis needed a quarterback because he just lost Dak, but then you just traded for a quarterback that potentially is out for the season, which was where my mind was just like, what is going on here? The
yeah.
whole Evan Engram age thing is actually blowing my mind right now. I didn't even know. I didn't even
Dude,
know.
you gotta do more. All right, you gotta do more.
It's crazy. I actually cannot believe it. I'm not even kidding. I was like, how? How did he become this old? It's incredible.
Well, he's a good athlete, so you don't think that he
Yeah, I
used to
feel like he's
play
a
like
start.
he's 30.
Yeah, what was it? Like his last season was like really where he really started to kind of
How
bloom
old
with
is
Trevor Lawrence.
Kelsey? Is he 34?
Is he? Let's take a look. He's on Mac's team.
Like, listen, could I be wrong in Evan Ingram be an athlete that lasts until 34, 35, 36? Yeah.
35.
Yeah. So, like, listen, could Evan Ingram become this? Yeah. But is he giving you the upside that Travis Kelsey gives you? I don't
That's
think so.
crazy. That's a crazy statement. No one's going to be entering Kelsey territory there, but
No, I'm just saying age wise.
yeah, I mean maybe.
I'm not saying talent wise. I'm saying, like, could he so ready, if you look at Jake Ferguson, you look at Evan Ingram, 30 and 24. Okay, you know that Ferguson's got at least another 5 years in the league till 29. But
Yeah.
for Ingram, it's like he could be done this year. He could be done next year. But I could be wrong, and he could be another 4 or 5 years like Travis Kelsey. But
Yeah,
that's what I don't believe that to be true.
super interesting stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have a side, but we need to stamp this right now. So we're checking back into the whole Dak Prescott versus Trevor Lawrence cycle from
Yeah.
now on for sure. I think that's
Okay. That this we have to come back to see who wins
we
this trade
do.
over
We
time.
do. I think we do. It's such an interesting trade. It really is.
I
But
think that Miami's about to put an absolute whooping on LA. I think they just did a
who
three-play
scored?
drive.
Yeah, who scored? Who scored?
Malik Washington.
Interesting.
Yeah, pass from Tua. I think he just threw three balls, and it was like 20 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards, and they scored.
Perfect. We I'm on the Dolphins. Um,
Well, I'm all about Tua scoring points because it's basically Tua versus Cooper Cup for me tonight. But sorry, let's continue.
yeah. All right,
Where are
well,
we at? Is that the final trade?
that's it. That's the final trade. So let's just kind of look at the standing. So
Yeah,
last time we were doing this, we were 4 games in, and now we are about to be 10 games in. So more like
yeah,
6 actually we've been out here. So last time we were here, the let's just read the playoffs that were here. So we had Berto at 1, Alexis at 2, the Leeds brothers, so Team IR, new Team IR at 3. We had Mac and Corey at 4. We had me at 5, and we had you at 6.
yep,
So not actually. So it looks like the Bash Bros moved in.
yep.
You moved out, and that's
hmm
basically really it. But we
I
had,
mean, a lot of people moved places. I mean, you
oh,
bumped
for
up quite a
sure.
bit.
Oh, my team is a fraud. It's a fraudulent team. I don't
Fraudulent.
even know. I don't know how I'm doing this honestly.
There's
But we
one team
have
every year, like the Washington Commanders, man.
literally. But we have so last time we were here, Mac was 2-2, and now he's 6-3. So he's on a 5. He's on a 5-1 streak right now.
Guys on a bender.
His team is ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah,
We all knew that. Berto was
yep.
at 3-1. Now he's at 6-3. So he's kind of been iffy, honestly. So what is that 3-2 record? Probably going to lose this week, honestly, as well. We have new team IR 3-1, so they're at 6-3. So things have been staying like pretty okay, honestly. We have bottom 4 looks like, well, now Joe and Kyle are definitely done. I think they're calling it quits this season. Santana's calling it quits this season. Samal's team was never really going to make a splash. Actually, he actually beat me this week. Did you? I'm not sure if you saw this, but did you see the score of me and this? He literally won by
Yeah,
0.48 points.
that's the worst.
0.48 points.
It's literally the worst.
Just
Wait,
because
but
I,
that is so, isn't that massive for me? Because I have one.
yes, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So you have the 101. Literally so crazy. Literally so crazy. I don't know how
Genty!
you always manage to get it. It's
Ashton! Where you at, Ashton?
literally ridiculous. But so I guess do you have any team to talk about here? I guess the
Well,
one
I just honestly, and we saying that, those guys are bopping out, AR-15. We're saying that they're probably wrapping up shop, but they could still mess me up. They could definitely still keep me out. But I think from
yeah,
them, it's
no
pretty
way.
cool that there's only, 2 game differentiation from the top to the bottom. You have
Yeah.
8 teams that mathematically are still in the race. So, for me, I'm just trying to sneak in at 6. You guys
I
don't want
think
me to
I
sneak
think
in at
this is where
6.
it is. I don't want I have your pick, so I've been rooting against you every single week. I don't when you're making these trades, I'm just like, no, I don't I want to actually veto the trades so you don't get the players.
Well, listen,
So
I mean, I definitely can still sneak in. I mean, this week isn't going to help because
so
I'm probably going to lose.
for
But
sure. But have you looked? We were supposed to record last week, so I was honestly kind of prepping this for a little bit. But I'm
yeah,
not sure if you looked at this. But have you seen who you're facing for the next upcoming weeks?
yeah,
It
it's not great.
it is a tough journey. You're facing
Yeah, it's not great.
all playoff teams right
Yeah,
now.
it's not great. I missed
So
my window of being able to win. I didn't set like honestly, bad manager. Okay, this week because I thought your Jets were something special on
they're
defense.
not. They're not.
They're not. Jay, they're just not good, and they're
they're
screwing me
they're not.
because I didn't think Aaron Rodgers was going to have a good game. Sorry,
Oh
wrong way
yes, I
around.
saw that you benched Marvin Harrison Jr. But
And I ruined myself.
I
I
will
ruined
say,
myself.
I will say though, I was so in another league, I was debating between. I'm sure. So I was looking at this as well. You started Addison instead of Marvin Harrison Jr. I was doing the same thing.
That's a great play.
I was debating on starting Addison as well, but I actually didn't ended up doing it
If you
because
look
I
at
found it was funny.
Addison's
Yeah,
season this year against bad, pass coverage
yeah,
defenses, he ends up with like 22
dude, I
points.
get it. When I saw you do that, I was like, I mean, it makes sense. I was seriously thinking about the same exact thing.
Never again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard. It's so,
Marvin and Malik never hit the bench. I'm
yeah.
After this week, they just don't. I don't care. What I was seeing was 21 points from Marvin, 2 points from Marvin, 26 points from Marvin, 3 points from Marvin. And I was like, I can't start this guy who's so inconsistent.
Yeah, and then
So,
you just needed him to simmer on your bench a little bit. And look, he proved you wrong. He
but
said,
like here's the other
I'm
thing
back.
too, ready?
I'm back.
I even felt better about it because Lad McConkey had just exploded for 30 points. And McConkey doesn't even get 10.
Yeah,
If either one of those two guys has an average game, I win this week.
is
But
it
now
winter?
I'm going against Cooper Cup and the Smith from Tua. Like thank God Tua didn't throw that touchdown to Smith. But like I'm going against
Oh
a
wow,
tight end that
we are in a tight battle.
yeah,
We're tied up at 122.
I know, but
We need to
is
do
it
Monday. We need to do Monday night all the time. This is fantastic. Look at this. We are scoreboard watching.
wait, but why that's not updated?
Why?
Wait, tell me that Malik Washington ran in that touchdown.
He probably did because this is definitely up
That's such BS, dude.
there. But there it is. There live reactions happening right now. But yeah,
Well, that's I was freaking out, pumped because
yeah. I mean, it
Malik
makes
Washington's a wide receiver, and I
hey
saw him in
dude,
the end zone.
hey, wide receivers run now.
No, that's
But
absolute dog water.
I will say
Now I'm pissed because I'm not going to win.
the top seven teams are what we need to be. These are the teams. But I will say you
I'll
definitely
get in there.
you have a tough journey. You really, really have a tough journey. I was looking at my team and I definitely have a very easy journey. I mean, Samala beat me this week, which is it's so killer to me. Like 0.48 points is so sad. But if you go to the past couple seasons in this league, all you need is 6 to 7 wins to make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I really just need one more win, and I'm kind of cruising in there.
Yeah. Mathematically, like I said, everybody's not everybody. 8 of our 10 are still, yeah.
It's gonna be Bash Bros, Alexis, and your team really kind of battling for this 5, 6, 7 spot. I really do think so. I mean, I think I probably will be sliding, but it just really depends what happens. Like my team really is terrible, but it's just there's no way I'm not gonna not make the playoffs. It's
You're going to
just
be at 7 and I'm going to be at 6.
I'm not gonna be at 7. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean maybe it will. I mean I'm gonna eat my words. I mean I would like to be at 7. I have my own
What
draft
do we
pick.
got? 4 more weeks?
Yeah, we have 4 more weeks after this week.
Yeah,
So
I got to go 2-2 or there's really no chance.
yeah, I mean once again you got a tough schedule. Next week you're facing the team. That's tough. You need a dub right there. Easy. Then you're facing new team IR once again a top team. Then you're
But
facing
he's got a lot of people on bye that week.
okay. Week 12 is a crazy bye week. I was looking at this in my future leagues
Not
and
for me.
it's crazy. Then you have
Not for me.
this week 13 matchup is going to be important. Like you
Yeah.
against Alexis, that's gonna be one to really think about. And then you
Yeah.
Berto, like you have such a tough schedule. It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough one. But all right, I mean, I feel like that's really it for this league, honestly. Any last words for this league? And then let's hop into Farmer Brown and Friends, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think Farmer Brown and Friends is going to be as eventful as this,
No,
but
it's not.
no, I
We are
just I
animated.
like I like that, when you started this league, it was kind of like, uh-oh, like is it going to last? Who's going to stay? Like we weren't quite sure about the gel, but I think it's a good gel. I think everyone's happy to be here and to have in week 9, about to finish week 10, 8 teams still able to like mathematically make the playoffs, like that's great. I just think that's good. I think it's a good, healthy league.
For sure. And it's a 10 teamer, so I mean, it's gonna happen.
Jay, you
But
don't know how angry I am that that wasn't a Tua Tagovailoa
sorry.
passing touchdown. If
Actually,
that was a passing
I'm
touchdown,
actually not sorry at all. I literally want you to lose.
devastated. Like that should be I should be ahead by 5 points right now,
But
not
you're not. But you're not.
matched.
You're not.
Such bullshit.
Hey, we don't curse on the pod.
Did that
But
just come out? Edit that
Good.
thing.
All right, let's move on to Farmer Brown and Friends here. Like you said, I don't think it's going to be as eventful. I think we only have, honestly, I know I made a trade, but I feel like there hasn't been much else, honestly, unless you think there has been.
I I don't think so. I feel like I've been trying to make some moves, but people are
I,
pretty legit. People
I feel
feel
like
comfortable with
I
their
feel like yeah,
teams.
I feel like people are rocking really steady here.
I think did I make a trade with Jose? I think I did.
Someone got Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I think that was me.
Was that you? Yeah, you know what? I think it was you as well. And
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin also won. Wait, did I just pass the Alvin Kamara one? I feel like
Yeah,
I.
you did. You're
Okay,
you're
okay.
way in the past
So
now.
we're starting. Let's start off with this trade right here. All right, Terry McLaurin for Jordan Mason and 25 first.
So that's what Jose's selling, Terry.
Yeah. So Ben got Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin and Jose got 25 first. Well, Ben's 25 first and Jordan Mason. So
Yeah.
this was him. He still actually has Christian McCaffrey as well. So you get the handcuff, you get a 25 first for Terry McLaurin. So Terry McLaurin was someone that I was also actively trying to buy from Jose. We were in the talks. We had a trade made up, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with this trade. And I was like, here I am, just holding the bag, unfortunately. But I do love Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin was definitely a
I
good
think
a good buy
yeah.
to go. Like he was
Yeah,
something fine.
I think Terry McLaurin puts Ben over the top, genuinely. I think Ben is going to be a really, really hard team to beat. I think that his path to winning this year is the most
And improves.
clear.
And improves.
But I will say this, like for Jose, who clearly we've talked about multiple times, like he's got to get younger. I think with the trades that he did, I think he did that. And
Yeah.
you know that Ben's pick is going to be low. Like you know that it's going to be, either the 112 or the 111 or the 110. But it's still a first. It's a first in a really, really deep class, in my opinion. Not deep because of quarterbacks, but deep because of skill players. And Jose still has older, but athletes that are going to play for another 2 or 3 years. So, you inject a little bit of youth into this already, top scoring team, and it'll kind of work out for him. I forget how many firsts he has now. I think he might have
I
three
think
in
he has three.
2025.
I think he has three. Let me go
I
look
think
at
he
it.
has his own,
He has mine now, but we're gonna talk
yours,
about that.
and Ben's. So, like, he's going to get a quarterback. He's going to get a young quarterback,
He has
probably.
four. He has yours because
Yeah, I
the
was going to say, did
yeah.
I give that up for Kamara? I
There you
forgot.
go.
Yeah, I
There's
did.
four.
So he's got four firsts. He's going to end up with, two wide receivers, a running back, and a quarterback, or two running backs, a wide receiver, and a quarterback. And he's going to inject a lot of youth from a really good class into his team. And I think this is the way he needed to go. So I think he made a good sale. I think he sold the right people. I think Terry McLaurin's never had a year like this in his career, and you just can't project that this is going to happen year in and year out. Is it looking good for him for the next year or two? Absolutely, it's looking good. But like
I
Terry's
like it.
never been a wide receiver one. So
He's
sell while
what
the
do you think he
stock
is
is
right? What do
high.
you think he is right now? If you had to take a guess, what is he right now?
Wide receiver wise, three.
Yeah. Three? He's not three. You think he's that
He's up
high?
there, dude.
Seven. Wow, I was gonna say eight, but I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
I'm surprised he's below five.
but I think so. I know you just said Terry's never been wide receiver one, but he's got the quarterback now. I love Terry McLaurin now.
Listen, I agree that this year and the next 2 years, Terry McLaurin can be a top 10 wide receiver. I'm just saying if I own him and I need to inject youth into my team, he's a good sales piece.
Yeah. It's
And that's what he got. He got, like you said, he got a handcuff for the best running back in the league and a 25 first.
yeah, but I love the trade though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
very I
I think
mean,
it's a fair trade.
I like it for
And
Ben, obviously, because I mean, if I had Ben's team and
well,
I'd be like, yeah, this is an
yeah,
easy trade, I'm making it. But
Ben's gonna take this and potentially win the league this year, and
yep,
Jose is gonna take this and fully
and
revamp his
bulk
team.
up. Yep, he's gonna bulk up.
I
That's
don't think there's a winner or a loser. I think both teams needed it, and I think we all hate it because it makes both teams better.
yeah, for sure. And Jose's team is not anything that he's not a bad team. And now he has
No,
four first round picks next year, so it's gonna be interesting. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you were at the draft last year. Like the amount of pick swapping that was happening in the first round is
Yeah.
kind of crazy. That's why I wanted to keep my first, honestly. Everybody's hungry for these first, and especially like when we're getting together, which is always a
Yeah.
good time. Like people want these first. So if Jose
Yeah.
if
Gets
Jose
hot and
gets
heavy.
yes, if Jose comes to the draft this season, the draft, like I think it's a must that he goes to the draft. Like not like he has to go, like it's automatic, but like as someone who owns four first, it is only beneficial for you to attend because
Well,
that's
just
that's
see
where things are going to
what
happen.
you're going to be able to get. Yeah,
Exactly,
absolutely.
that's where things are going to
But
happen.
he could very well stick
Just
and
make
pick,
yes, and stick and pick.
and with
That's,
the depth of this class, be perfectly fine. But
yeah,
if he gets an offer that the value is in his favor, then yeah, you're right. Take what you can get.
it's gonna be interesting. But I love the move for both teams here. I think it makes sense.
Yep.
All right, let's go to this next one here. All right, so we have Kirk Cousins for Xavier Legette and a 25 first. So this was a move that I needed to make. I am struggling so bad at my QB2. I had Anthony Richardson, which is not working out. I had Andy Dalton, which is no longer starting. And now I have Jameis Winston, which is kind of cool, but like I don't know if it's really that cool to be honest. I don't really even know what Jameis Winston did this week. What did he do this week? Anything productive and cool? Oh, he was on bye, so he did not have anything productive.
I wanted to wait till you. I knew they were on by, but I was like, let's see where
Um,
he goes with this.
so I didn't watch too much football this week because I was at my baby shower, so I'm all discombobulated, honestly.
Yeah,
So,
Daddy
but
Miro.
yes, sir. But what are your thoughts on this one? Since I'm in it, what are your thoughts here?
Where's Kurt? I have not been paying attention to Kurt's performances. Where is he?
He's a QB1. I think he's number
Because
10.
I know which side I like off of the immediate look, but
11.
I haven't really weighed it.
Number 11.
11. Yeah, man, 43, but then 9. Yeah, I think next year Kirk is going to be a lot better than this year Kirk. So like if you're saying, "Hey, I have a quarterback for
Hmm,
the next 3 years,"
that's interesting.
then yeah, that's fine. Because Kirk has always been the guy that the more he knows a system, the smarter he is. Like he's not like Aaron Rodgers where Aaron Rodgers can go to a new team and he's like, "We're doing my system because this is how I play football." Kirk does listen to his coaches and he and he
I love the little
learns,
the little laugh there.
yeah, he learns new systems. And that's why you saw every single year in the Viking system, he got better and better and better, and the people around him got better and better. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen in Atlanta. I think next year and even the year after, you're going to just see all the Atlanta pieces move up. So value wise, it's probably correct.
Yeah.
Right now, in this moment in time, I think Jose wins the trade.
Yeah, I was really Jose was pressing me for this first so
Jose,
much.
listen, Jose's become a much better evaluator of trade this year than last year.
He was pressing
Like,
me for this first so much. I did not want to
yeah,
give up the first. I was trying to give up seconds and
yeah,
my other wide receiver depth, but he would not budge at all.
yeah,
And no one else was really selling quarterbacks. And I was like, okay, like it was either I make this move or I just completely it's gone. My team is
yeah,
done. Like I
yeah.
needed
Like
to
you knew that the season ends if you didn't make the move. Yeah,
exactly. It was he did good. He really
I yeah I think the move works for both
for
teams.
sure.
But what I'm excited about is that someone like Jose, who's never played dynasty fantasy football before, is starting to feel firm about where he values people. And like, not I don't want to offend anybody, but like Jack and Patrick are still learning,
I don't
what's
know. My
proper
boy, my boy
value.
Patrick is making trades, man. Not in this
Yeah,
league, in the other league, but he's
yeah.
he's going.
Like Pat has always been a very analytical guy, so he's doing a good job with it. But like year one, he made a couple silly trades. During the draft, he made a couple silly trades. But like
That's the
this
beauty
is
of
what's
fantasy.
fun about Dynasty is that you learn from your mistakes and you come back from it. And Jose is on what I consider a really awesome comeback.
Yeah, he was strong arming me for that first, and I was like, okay, I don't really have anything else to do. I need to do it. He was trying to
Yeah.
get Jaden Reed for me, but I was like, I can't do that. So I was happy
Yeah.
giving up Xavier Legette, and I was like, okay, he was the wide receiver I really did want to move. I have a lot of wide receivers. I was like, let's just go,
Yeah.
let's get rid of
And
some.
for Jose, like if Legette becomes something like
Exactly.
legit, good for you. But if he doesn't become something, then this is why he wanted the first. Like, okay, there's the security of, hey, I can replace what I thought I was gonna get in Legette.
Yeah, for sure.
But right from the beginning, I said Jose won this trade. When you look into Kirk and you looked at, oh my gosh, he has had 28-point games, 40 something point games, it means that they just haven't fine tuned, what he had with Justin Jefferson, he will get with Jake London. What he had with TJ Hawkinson, he will get, you know, this is just, he's just got to get used to his team.
Yeah, I
And he
mean,
has a running back that he's never had, but like he's never had a running back like this guy before. So, Bijan and, even the backup, Algier, like it's a great
it's a great
offensive
team.
weapons
It's a
crew.
great team. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great offensive weapons crew, and Kirk just needs to know how to play the chess pieces.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, already that he's at QB 11 is
Yeah,
good for me.
in a
I mean,
first year offense with first year playing with these tools,
yes,
dude,
sir.
they're replaying the end around touchdown. I almost freaked out because I thought that they did it again.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a move I need to make. You'll see here, like I'm at fourth place, 5-4, but I'm actually gonna lose this week because I hate my life, and I don't know. We're about to get into the standings in a little bit, so we'll talk about that a little later. All right, let's go to Alvin Kamara
Yeah.
for a 25 first, and this is
Yes, Jose, just like you, he was strong arming about the first. I looked at my roster. I said, hey, I've got two late first. I know that I'm going to make the playoffs, or at least that's my plan. And I know that your brother is going to make the playoffs because he's currently at the top of the charts. So, you know, I tried to do multiple seconds for Kamara. I was like, bro, he's old. You have no idea when he's going to retire, blah, blah, blah. And then what's he do? He goes and signs a 2-year extension. So, in my mind, a
was this
Christian,
pre-extension or was this post-extension?
no, he signed a 2-year extension like a month
No,
ago.
I mean like, oh, okay. So this was after the extension.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my arguments of he's old, you don't know what's going to happen, blah, 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 they kind of like became dust because he signs this extension and it's like you don't have a good argument there.
Yeah.
So I tried to do a 25, 26 second. I even tried to do a 25, 26 second with a 25 third. And he was just pretty firm, like, no, I just want a first. I don't want an accumulation. I just want firsts. And I'm looking at my team. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, you know what? Alvin Kamara will put my team in the playoffs. And as long as I get to the playoffs, I feel confident that I can go in the playoffs. Now, Ben and Mike's teams are both very good. So I'm hopeful that, my youth can kind of come together. I don't think this is going to be my year to do it in this league, but now that I have Kamara, at least I know I'll have him next season. Plus at least one more 25 draft pick that I have and a second rounder. I think my team's in a really good place to be good the remainder of this year, definitely next year, and the year after. With Puka back, if Puka didn't come back when he came back and how he came back, I probably wouldn't make this trade.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Like Puka came back game one and went nuclear. So I said,
who
okay, I feel good about
you start
this.
here? These are not your real starters. Who do you have
No,
here?
I had to because of bye week
Yeah, I
stuff.
know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, who are your actual starters
So
here?
Ayuk is hurt. Deontay Johnson, I can't trust. Olave
Oh
is on
wow.
bye, or did he have a concussion?
Oh, he's on IR now. He is. They're saying he might be out for the season.
Oh, I didn't even
So
know
you
that.
so you got to put like Sam Laporta
All
in.
right, well,
Possibly.
that really makes me sad because I'd never heard that news. Well,
Yeah.
if I had known that Olave was going to be on IR, I wouldn't have traded for Alvin Kamara.
Wow. Yeah, your team kind of. I feel like you had such a Chris Olave and Ayuk are killer, man. That
So
is
ready, Chris Olave, Ayuk are killers. Deontay Johnson goes to the worst trade position
worst.
possible.
Literally the worst place he could have gone.
The
It's
worst. I mean, for him, great because he's going to get a ring. But for me, that sucks. And then Laporta is going to have to be one of my flex guys, and who wants to start a tight end in their flex? Laporta better come on at the end of the season because this
yeah,
is
touchdown.
like I know, but this is like the biggest fall from grace I've ever seen.
People said it was gonna happen, man. Like he was
Not like this.
he did
Not
too
like
much. He did,
this.
yeah, you're right. I would agree.
From one to what, like 13?
He's not even being like targeted. How many targets he have yesterday? 4?
Yeah, it's not good. And
Six.
like
Six targets.
this dude was a former tight end. You'd think he'd give him the ball more.
Yeah, I don't know. But wow. Yeah, your team's looking a little rough here, Brownie.
Yeah,
You really have to
you
hope
just broke my heart because I didn't even know that
yeah.
Olave was placed on IR.
He is placed on IR, so he is gone for 4 weeks.
Freaking nuts. If I make the playoffs though, you guys, I'm telling you, you
But
better
this
watch
Joe,
out.
I love Joe Mixon. So I mean, if you're in sell mode, let me know. Um, uh,
If I don't make the playoffs, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna have
we're
to
gonna
see how the
know.
next 2 weeks
We'll
go.
know. We'll know what happens
You
soon.
don't have a first. You're not gonna trade me anything.
I have I have 2 seconds.
Yeah, not Joe Mixon. Are you crazy?
Yeah, Joe Mixon is old. He's
He's
he's,
better than Alvin Kamara,
he's
and he's younger than
retiring.
Alvin
He's
Kamara. I just
retiring
gave
next
a
season.
first for Alvin Kamara. You didn't even give me
Um,
your opinion. What's your opinion on a first for Alvin Kamara?
oh, it's exactly what needs to be happening. I mean, no one wants to pay the. I mean, I'd say no one wants to pay the first, but like that's the price. Like I would be okay.
It has to be the
Yeah,
price.
I
It
would
has to
I
be.
would be that's what I would pay. If that's what I needed to do to push my team to the next level, I'm in. That's that's
Yeah,
what I wanted to keep
now I'm pissed. You pissed me off twice.
I wanted to keep my 25 first so I could like start like right now, like this is where I was like, I never have wanted my 25 first by the time the season ended. Like I knew that, but I'm mad that I had to use it on a quarterback. Like that is just not something
Yeah.
that I wanted to do. And it's like it's a shame. It's a shame, but whatever.
What the frick?
All right, let's talk some standings because actually things have been going absolutely berserk on in this league. Like things have been changing pretty
Well, look at the numbers. I mean, look at how competitive the league is.
things have been going wild. So at the top, so this is a wild statistic. So I was 4-0 the last time we did a recap video. I am now about to be 5-5. So I am on a 1-5 streak right here. I have won one game in the last 6 weeks. It's disgusting. Absurd.
Yeah, you suck,
Um,
bro.
Mike was 4-0. Now he's 7-2, so he looks pretty legit. Um, Ben was 3-1. Now he's 6-3, looking pretty legit. This was the team that I was shocked at is making moves. Last time we
The
did this,
freaking Jets. So for a 3 week period, the Jets decided to be studs, and then they go right back to the crapper. Like,
Garrett Wilson was yes. Garrett Wilson has been the wide receiver one since they started
well, the
nuclear
combination of Garrett Wilson,
and
Brees
Aaron Rodgers.
Hall, and Aaron Rodgers for that 3 week period was nuts. It was
hmm
unbeatable.
hmm
If
So
you had all three of them, you weren't going to lose.
yeah,
But now it's like, what are they doing?
Frankie was 1-3. Now he's 6-3. And if you look here to the right, like you'll see, look, he's won
Yeah,
one, two,
highest point
three,
scorer.
three highest point scorer in the last 4 weeks. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I mean
So
that'll tell you a story right there.
he's the largest riser. We had Sean at 1-3. Sean, if you don't know, remember when the last recap video, I was like, watch out for this team. And look what is happening. 1-3. Now he's 5-4.
He's only one game back from the playoffs.
It's incredible. I didn't think it was gonna like literally actually happen so quickly, but he's been doing it. So someone to look out for. That's someone I've been low-key kind of monitoring. Jack's team
Dynasty, man.
Jack's team was the last place. He has not obviously won any games. Um, Jose, last time we
Jose's just
talked,
sold, so
yeah,
he's probably not going to do much
he had
moving forward.
zero. He had 0 wins last time, but now he has 3 wins. Probably going to pick up a fourth, maybe. So he's actually been 4-2 in the last couple since we made the last video. So he's actually trending upwards. But he also just got 3 first-round picks, which is what I love. Like his team, that just shows that his team is not terrible. But besides that, everything's been kind of consistent. Like Hangley was in seventh place, 2-2. Now he's 5-4. You were, let's see where you were at. You were in eighth place at 2-2. Now you're 5-4. So things have been kind of staying consistent. Noah, same thing. Noah was 3-1 actually, and now he is 5-4. He's actually going to beat me this week, so 6-4. Let's look at these matchups right here. Noah's going to beat me. Hangley's going to beat Frankly. So that's going to be six. Wow, these teams. Now I'm going to be 5-5. So a lot of 6-4 teams. Mike's actually going to lose to Jose. You're going to catch a good dub.
Yep.
Sean's actually going to be out. Mikey Mastro going to catch a win against Jack. So that's a good win for him. So things are about to get even more tight in this playoff race. This is
Yeah.
Things are getting real serious in this league. I don't really know what's going to happen, honestly. I would say, do you have a team to look out for here?
I think I really so Frankie, in my opinion, was not supposed to be here. And you know what? He trusted the process and he's happy with the moves that he's made. Um,
And he got Baker Mayfield for
yeah, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
So yeah, that I mean, Ben, what are we doing? I so ready. Ben makes up for the Trevor Lawrence thing with the Terry McLaurin thing, not fully, but like kinda. I think I really think it's Frankie, Ben, or Mike this year. And I think Mike's team is getting worse. So I really think it's more of like Frankie or Mike.
Is
But
Mike's team getting worse?
I'm pretty sure he had a bunch of people get injured this year. He
Pacheco
lost
left.
Pacheco.
Oh, Stephon Diggs,
He
peace.
lost Diggs. He lost
Godwin, peace.
Godwin. Like he lost a lot of people. Now he had a
God,
crap ton of depth.
losing
He
Godwin
traded a bunch
sucks.
of stuff to have depth. So like, could he be fine? Yeah, he could be. But like in terms of trends, I think Mike is trending down while the other two are trending up.
Yeah.
And
And Mike doesn't have any of his like 20 good 26 picks. He has a second that he could probably
well,
send.
next year he'll be fine. You know, as
Hopefully.
long as everyone comes back healthy, he'll be fine next year, and he'll probably be a great competitor next year. But it's like, oh my gosh, one more year closer to these guys retiring. You know, like DeAndre Hopkins, Godwin, Pollard, you know, Adams.
Adams.
Yeah. So like he had the perfect storm, and he's still there. Like he's still there. Like he still has the pieces to do the whole thing. It's just sketchier as he's moving forward. I don't know.
I like to so I have the highest points for still. I just need DK and Nico Collins to come back and I need to get wins. That's what I need wins. That's it. I'm
Yeah,
in the territory of not getting wins and you need wins to make the playoffs. So
yeah,
I think I'm actually going to be kicked out of the playoff race
yeah.
after this week. Actually, I am definitely going to get kicked out.
Well,
Noah's
no,
gonna
this week
you're
is
gonna go
big.
up.
This week, a lot of things are about to move this week.
Yeah, I'm
And
done.
I'm happy about it because I think it's going to move me all the way up to
I
fourth, either
actually
fourth or
cannot
fifth.
believe this. Wow, I am so sad. But
Well, listen, you've been making me upset the whole podcast, so it's about
actually,
time.
I'm actually well. I mean, I don't know. I really do need Nico Collins and DK Metcalf to come back. Nico Collins is probably coming back next week. Well, unless they're on their bye week. Let's take a look at that. So then I'm going to be sad, and we
I
can't have.
think Nico Collins comes back, but I don't know when the bye week is. He was close. He almost made it this week.
All right, their bye week is 14, so he's definitely going to play next week. He has
Yeah.
to. DK,
The bye week is the last chance to make it into the
the last
playoffs.
week. Yeah, but once again, I have some wide receiver depth. Like I still have Jaden Reed, DK Metcalf. I don't really. I think that's actually really it. I think I traded. Everyone else is gone. Rashid Shaheed was doing something, but he's done now. I don't know.
Yeah.
This league is interesting. I don't really know.
This league is a lot more balanced
I would say it's probably
than
Ben's
we gave
team.
it credit for at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think Ben's team is probably the one to beat here, honestly.
No, listen, that's really where I'm at. That's really where I'm at. But I've seen Ben's team underperform too many times. In my opinion, if I had to put money on it right now, I think Ben wins the whole thing. But we said something similar last year about somebody, and then Mikey came in like a bat out of hell and just
I love that
swept through
though.
everybody.
I love a good underdog story. Kangley's team is pretty solid as well. These are starters you want.
Yeah, didn't Hangley make some trades?
I don't think so.
Maybe not recently, but I feel like in the beginning of the year, Hangley did something, and I was like, wow,
He
that was
got
a good
AJ
move.
Brown. He got AJ Brown for
Yeah, 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 that's what
and
it
Daniels
was.
in a first,
Yeah,
which in hindsight probably is not a good move anymore. But hey, I
yeah.
mean, he needed to do it, I
You got
guess.
to swing. You got to swing when there's a fastball.
He has a look who has a touchdown in one carry. All right, I'm sorry. All right.
Couldn't just
Um,
been a shovel pass. Could have been anything. So stupid. So
Noah's
stupid.
beating me. Travis Etienne definitely needs to come back. Oh,
I think
Diggs.
he's gonna. You saw
Oh, Diggs.
Biggs. Biggs. You saw Bigsby's getting hurt.
I saw he once again. I didn't watch a lot of football this weekend, but I saw he only had 4 carries. So
No, I think he got hurt, and
did he?
they're like talking about maybe missing a couple
All
weeks.
right, good. So enter Travis Etienne because I have Travis Etienne too many places, and I'm sad. So Jalen
He's
Waddle
gonna
does
go to
somehow.
another team. They're gonna
Yeah,
move on from
I
him.
hope so. I hope so. That would be very, very much needed. But I don't know. Pretty much everything looks kind of solid here. So next time we do this, we're probably gonna have a lot more clearer picture of what's going on. But it's
Yeah.
gonna come down to the last week for sure.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'm just glad that both of our leagues are in a really competitive window. There's
Yeah.
no like definite
Nope.
blowouts. There's no like, four got two got like in my one league, there's a blowout. There's like three of us who are 8-1. There's like four guys who are like under two wins. It's not great,
Yeah.
but that's what those teams at the bottom did that on
They
purpose.
did that on
There's
purpose.
one guy in that league. There's one guy who has 6 25 firsts and two 26 firsts.
Wow. So that's
He
what
sold
they sold
everything.
everything. They're taking points out of their lineups, which if that's if your move is to tank, that's what you got to do. You got to
In fact, I think
remove
I
those
gave
points
him
from your
both
lineup.
of those. I think I gave him a 26 and a 25 first to
Yeah,
to be where I'm at.
that makes
I'm eight
sense.
and one in that league, by the way.
Oh, so you're the 8-1 team.
I'm one of those.
Is it your listener league?
Yeah.
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 All right, cool. I mean, anything else to share with anybody?
Season is in the thick of it. We got four
It's
more weeks, folks. Just get ready to be stressed out.
yes, sir.
Do your best. Smile when you can. And Tua sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all right, let's let Austin go watch Tlaw because he is stressing so much. It's so funny. All right,
Freaking
brother.
bums.
It's been a good time as always, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you probably next week. I'm assuming since we kind of missed last week, but I don't know. We'll talk. But all right, everybody, have a good night. Goodbye.